Everything you're looking at right now is one modifier. No empties, no geometry nodes. Render 5.0's new array modifier is honestly insane. Let me show you how it works. Select your mesh, go to modifiers and search for array. Don't select the array legacy because we're not dinosaurs, are we? Select the new array. Blender 5.0 introduces a brand new array modifier. It's built on geometry nodes, but the best part is you don't need to understand geometry nodes at all. Everything you need is right here in the modifier. First, we have the line mode where you can increase the count. The relative mode uses the mesh dimensions to offset the array. You can easily rotate it on any axis that you want using the modifier panel. Similarly, you can change the offset and scale on any axis that you want. The count in relative mode is quite explanatory. Next, we have the offset mode in which the array objects are offset by using real dimensions, 1 meter, 2 meters and so on. Then the endpoint mode lets us define a start and end, and Blender just distributes everything perfectly in between by changing the count. Add the gizmos on top of that and you can move, rotate and scale the entire array directly in the viewport. This is a huge step up from the previous array where you had to type every value and use trial and error. Next, we have the circle mode. It might be my favorite addition. Instead of setting up empties or weird rotations, the array just wraps itself around a central point automatically. You can easily change the central axis to X, Y or Z and also switch between a full circle or an arc based on an angle. You can control it by count or distance, where count increases the number of array objects and distance changes the angle between each array object and increases the count automatically. We also have the align rotation, which you can use to align the objects along any axis X, Y or Z, and also change the up axis indicating which direction is facing up. Let's check out the curve mode next. When you select it, your mesh disappears, but that's because there's no curve assigned to it. Just add a Bezier curve or any other curve that you want and select that curve with the dropper in the modifier menu. You have the align rotation features here as well. Also the count and distance working the same way as before, where count increases the number of array objects and distance evenly spaces them across the curve. But the real killer feature here is per curve. If your curve has multiple segments, this lets you control whether the count applies per segment or across the entire curve. You can see the difference when you toggle it on and off. Selecting per curve gives us the same count across each curve segment. Also, if you edit the curve, the array objects just follow the new curve seamlessly. Perfect for cables, pipes, railings, one click and it just works. Then we have the transform mode. It looks similar to the line mode, but it behaves completely differently. Instead of adding values evenly, it multiplies them. So scale, rotation and translation increase incrementally, not equally. It seems a little weird at first, but you can use it to create quite different types of abstract arrangements. But make sure to keep the values really small because things can get out of hand really quickly. You can use it to create abstract shapes, spirals, mandalas and a lot more. Experiment and find out yourself. Now let's look at Randomize, which is available across all the modes that we saw before. On top of everything we covered, you can even randomize the position, rotation and scale. And the key here is subtlety. Tiny values instantly break repetition and make everything feel more natural. You can even exclude the first or last object to keep your edges clean. Randomize gives us instant realism. I can see its use case especially while making a stack of books, a stone path or an arch, etc. Last but not the least, let's look at realize instances. When this is unchecked, your array objects are not realized into actual geometry, which reduces the load on your system. But that also means that we can't work with any other modifiers on it. By default, all of this is instance-based, which is great for performance, but when you're ready to commit, turning on the realize instances converts everything into real geometry. That's when you can start stacking modifiers and really push things to the next level. Realize instances is also available across all the different modes, and it helps us stack modifiers like wireframe, subdivision, etc. one by one and work on it as a regular mesh. For better performance, block with instances and then finalize with realize instances. This single modifier changes how fast you can build things in Blender 5.0. If you want, I can use this to build a full cinematic scene next. Let me know in the comments and I'll see you in the next one. Go create something crazy, weird or super abstract using this new array modifier. Like this video and subscribe to Pixel Blender for more such videos.